And now, CBS 21 Sports with Jason Bristol.
When it comes to playing Penn State, history is not on Maryland's side. Actually, history's not even in the same zip code. Going all the way back to 1917, Maryland has won just one time against Penn State. And the game is back on Saturday with Maryland returning to Beaver Stadium. This is video from the last time they played, 1993, when the Nittany Lions crushing the Terps 70-7 at Maryland. Now in the Big Ten, Maryland knows a rivalry can't be a rivalry until you start winning some games.
You know, we'll get a chance to play them now on a yearly basis, and what we have to do is just continue to get better, and if you're going to make any kind of a series a rival, you know, there's got to be wins on, you know, our side to be able to make that happen.
Maryland couldn't make anything happen last week against Wisconsin, losing to the Badgers 52-7. This Penn State game, Maryland starting at noon on Saturday. New tonight, Sixers playing for that #1 draft pick, starting the season against the Pacers. However, Tony Wroten looking good through the lane. He had 22 points. Sixers down just 4, but Indiana too much. Roy Hibbert in the lane. He had 22. Pacers win 103-91. Philadelphia 0-1. Work hard and you will be rewarded. After once being out of football, Danny Lansana from Harrisburg is now a starting linebacker in the NFL. And that job is definitely his now, with the Buccaneers trading their old starter, Jonathan Casillas, to New England. We've been following Danny's story for years, and now he's talking about that trade. Twice Lansana has scored this season off interceptions, so he has earned this new role. He's also ready for whatever happens next.
Definitely, you know, I've been playing, you know, so I've been out there, and it's not nothing new. It's not going to be nothing different, you know. Just go out there and continue to make plays and trying to help my team win football games.
We caught up with Danny a couple of weeks ago back home with his trainer, Ryan Mackes. Tampa Bay needs wins. They are 1-6, face 3-5 Minnesota on Sunday. Now, back to this Maryland-Penn State thing. In 37 games against the Nittany Lions, Maryland has won just once. Okay, what's it like being on the wrong side of such a lopsided rivalry? Well, we found two men who prefer to stay positive. After all, they're the only ones to ever lead a Maryland team to victory over the heavily favored Nittany Lions. At this popular bar and grill, today's special is not listed on the menu. It's the stories from these two men who together made history.
We sort of expected to win. We had a good team.
Gary Collins and Dick Shiner once made a great team. Their fascinating relationship dates back to the 1960s at the University of Maryland. Can you believe that game is still the only one of its kind?
Until that game there, I didn't hardly ever play with it.
He hardly played.
That game is a Maryland victory over Penn State in 1961. At the time, important.
Of course, the whole roster we were from PA.
Such a win now seems almost impossible.
I was reading the stats on the Penn State game. It says in the article I was used as a decoy.
If there's video of that victory, we couldn't find it. Just a few old photos from the university archives, like these, of a much younger Gary Collins on the field afterward. Yes, on the web, the game barely exists.
I really hurt after playing Penn. They hit harder.
But here,
they really did.
It's coming back to life.
Well, yeah, you're always nervous.
Dick, starting for the first time, threw 3 touchdowns, including one to Gary.
So I'd come out and barf. And
who was one sick All-American.
You know how we won the game, don't you?
Well,
I took a safety. Yeah. Everybody went, oh, that Collins screwed up the game. And well, what the plan was to take, we won 21-17.
Yeah.
The Associated Press later said Maryland repulses Penn State. That never, ever happened again. But the most fascinating thing about Dick and Gary's relationship is this. For 53 years, they have been connected by this one game. Now they are separated by just 5.5 miles.
Joe Paterno was not the head coach.
Both now live in the Hershey area. They don't see each other as often as they'd like, so I took them to lunch at Duke's.
Thanks.
And now, the big question. Could this finally be Maryland's year?
I think they have a good chance.
They have a good chance.
And maybe better than they think.
That's a tough thing.
Because not on the menu,
So I went
a
in.
pregame speech from either of these guys.
The last time I gave them a talk before a game, they got beat 72-7 or something.
It was 1993.
90-something, yeah.
Oh, it was 1993, and Gary's originally from Williamstown, one of the finest players of his generation, should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Dick grew up in Lebanon. He's actually helping coach high school football still over at Hershey High School. And here's one more twist to their relationship. They were later teammates in the NFL with the Cleveland Browns. We were there for 2 hours. I could have spent 2 more hours listening to all their stories.
A couple of days, probably.
No doubt.
Yeah. Has Maryland ever gotten close?
Actually, they have. There's actually a tie in this series, I believe back in 1989. So we shall see. Now that both teams are in the Big Ten, they'll be playing every year. At some point, Maryland has to beat Penn State. Who knows? Maybe this will be the year.
It's basically what Maryland's coach said. Eventually, we have to start winning to make it a rivalry.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yes.
All right, love to get their reaction when that happens.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Jason.
We'll be right back.